Hello, Bill Steffen here, and boy, the eyes are looking off to the west as we track thunderstorms that are moving across the plain states toward the state of Michigan. Our first slide takes a look at some of the storm reports that we had here during the day yesterday, during the day Wednesday, and it's interesting. Look at that glob out there in northeastern Colorado into western part of Nebraska. That's the kind of severe weather that the storm was producing here on Wednesday. Now, that storm is going to move toward the Great Lakes later on today. I think the best bet for severe weather is going to be in Wisconsin to our west. We're certainly going to keep an eye on things here in West Michigan as we could see some significant weather as well. There was one tornado and 28 severe hail reports out toward Scottsbluff and down into Colorado, and 67 wind damage reports. There will be more of those reported. That's just as of showtime. That's how many they had. And a gust to 82 miles an hour at Grant, Nebraska. So the highest gust was 82 miles an hour. We'll see if that occurs again tomorrow. So one of the things that we do want to point out again is we track these storms as they come in. We take a look at the severe weather reports to our west and see if that activity will translate into our area here the next day. All right, let's take a look at the severe weather outlook area. And again, we have that orange level 3 enhanced outlook, which is over much of Wisconsin, extending into West Michigan here. From the Grand Rapids National Weather Service, they say the main window for severe storms will be 8 p.m. Thursday to 2 a.m. Friday. I think that's accurate. From west to east, that's first along US 31 and then US 127, which goes between let's see, Jackson, Lansing, Alma, Mount Pleasant, places like that. Now, this is the interesting part. If, and they put in that word if, so it's not an absolute sure thing that we're going to get severe weather. It's likely that we're going to get a storm coming on through, but it's not a given that it will be severe. If storms develop, they certainly have a high probability of becoming severe. So we're keeping an eye on things. Storms occurring overnight, make sure you have a way to receive warnings and that you have a plan to take shelter. And that's especially if you're going to be doing any driving, if you're getting out of work, let's say during the evening hours, keep in mind that strong wind gusts and even an isolated tornado will be possible. Outside of that orange area there, that yellow is a slight risk or level 2, and that covers much of the rest of lower Michigan and a good portion of upper Michigan. And then the dark green around that would be the level 1 marginal risk. All right, let's go on and show you each of the different parameters here. First of all, the tornado threat. SPC specifically says severe thunderstorms are expected across parts of the upper Mississippi Valley and Great Lakes region Thursday afternoon and evening. The primary risk with this activity is large to very large hail. Tornadoes, a couple may be strong, and scattered wind damage. Now, if you look at the graphic, we're in the 5% risk for a tornado, and that would be you have a 5% chance anywhere in that brown area of seeing a tornado reported within 25 miles of a given point. And in that hatched area there, that's the area that we're most concerned about. That's from around the Minnesota border down toward Milwaukee. Storms may weaken just a touch as they move their way across lower Michigan during the evening. All right, that's tornadoes. Let's go to wind right now. Now, this is a 30% risk. Now, keep in mind, tornado, 5% risk, wind damage, 30% risk. So what that means is that you have a 6 times greater chance of seeing wind damage than seeing a tornado, okay? That enhanced risk, level 3, is there in that red color, and SBC says supercell storm mode may be favored with perhaps a trend toward bowing segments during the evening. A gust to 80 miles an hour cannot be ruled out. So they're going with the same thing that happened out in Nebraska, where they had one place that had a gust to 82 miles an hour. Now we'll go on to hail for the next map here. The hail threat says large to very large hail up to 3 inches in diameter. Tornadoes, a couple may be strong, appear possible within the moisture-rich, favorably sheared warm sector. The sheared means the wind is changing direction with height. The wind is going to be at the surface out of the south-southeast, and as you go up into the atmosphere, it turns more to the southwest. So let's take a little time out right now and take a listen to this message from Complete Care Concierge, LLC.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, it was cooler near the lake once again today, but not quite as drastic as the past couple of days. Here's a look at some 2 p.m. temperatures and look at that pretty sunset from over Monday afternoon in the Muskegon Channel. 2 p.m. temperatures, Holland Airport, which is inland, was 74. At the Holland Beach at 2 o'clock, it was 62. Grand Rapids was 73, while at the same time the Muskegon Pier was at 65. Just a touch warmer there than it was down in Holland. Up in the UP, look at the difference between Ironwood, who was 76, and Pleasant. And look at Mackinac Island. They had an east-southeast wind, so it was coming off the whole length of Lake Superior, and they were in the upper 40s. So a far different day, depending on where you were, but that's a little bit more on lake effect here. Let's take a look at our headline graphic and show you that what's ahead here for us. Most of today is going to turn out to be dry between now and about 6 p.m. I don't think we'll see any rain here. So if you got something to do, you want to get out and enjoy the day, please do that. Get your shopping done. And there's a good chance we'll see a thunderstorm arrive here during the evening and into Thursday night. And again, anytime from about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening would be the earliest they'd be coming on shore, to around 1, 2 in the morning when they would be exiting the last of the Lansing, Jackson areas. Behind the system, it will be mild and breezy on Friday here. Temperature back up above 80 degrees, but that's the last warm day. We won't see 80 probably the rest of the month as a cooler pattern develops here. It will be cooler with temperatures back into the 60s here for the weekend and next week. So let's take a look at 66-hour. Well, first of all, we're going to look at Holland's weather here. Variably cloudy skies. I think a typical temperature for the afternoon would be 77. It may touch 80. But it will be a warm day even at the lakeshore here during the day tomorrow. Look at the beautiful tulips in Centennial Park. They've had a great tulip festival. The timing on the tulips here has turned out right about perfect here. This is the weather for not Wednesday, May 15th. Yeah, it's the 15th. That would be Thursday, wouldn't it? Okay, and then let's take a look at the 66-hour rainfall total. Again, that area seeing the heaviest rain is up toward North Dakota, and they may go through the whole month of July without seeing that much rain. That red area there looks like about 4 inches. So they're really going to get it. The track of the low is going to be up toward Wisconsin. You can see the rain that's falling off to our southeast with an inch of rain there again in western Pennsylvania, where they've had a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity here this month. And it is dry in the southwest and dry down in Florida over the next several days. In terms of what's going to happen here in West Michigan, most areas are going to see anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. That darkest green is anywhere from about 1/2 to 1 inch of rain. That's mainly down in Indiana. I think these thunderstorms will be rolling through pretty fast, so I don't think they will bring us a flooding problem here. But you can see the storms kind of tapering off a little bit once they get over toward the Thumb area and up toward Alpena. But in general, across the area, 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain is expected here. And now we'll take a look at snow out west. Same area continues to get winter weather. Some places up in the mountains there in Montana and Wyoming expected to get yet another foot of snow out there as winter shows no signs of easing back there in the Rockies. On to take a look now at our forecast for the day. Daytime area will be dry. Daytime will be dry. And during the evening, we will catch that thunderstorm. Temperature low to mid 80s this afternoon. Even at the lakeshore, it will be fairly warm because that south-southeast wind will be 10 to 15 miles an hour. Humidity, lowest level during the afternoon will be around 55%. It will start to climb a little bit here late in the day as those thunderstorms start to approach. Taking a look at specific high temperatures for the day, we got Grand Rapids, Kentwood at 84, got 84 down there in Allegan, 84 at the airport in Holland, 72 right at South Haven. So they expect the lake breeze to kick in there. The general wind south-southeast, winds to turn a little bit more southwest if you're right at the immediate lakeshore. Traverse City gets a warm 84 degrees. You can see Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin at 61 with a south-southeast wind coming across the lake there. We go from Thursday into Friday, and it's still warm. Temperature 84 degrees in Grand Rapids. So we have 2 days that are pretty similar here. And then we move on to take a look at Saturday. And by Saturday, the cooler air starts to arrive, and we'll be seeing our temperatures here generally in the 60s, may touch 70 in Kalamazoo, Three Rivers, South Bend. And look at South Haven at only 59 here Saturday afternoon. So if you got something planned right by the lakeshore, as winds turn to come off the lake, it will be certainly chillier than it will be in inland areas. The long range outlook out to early next week looks like this. Chance the storm comes Thursday evening. We've got breezy conditions on Friday with temperatures back up into the low 80s at least. Saturday, I threw in a couple of raindrops. There's an outside chance of a shower in the morning, probably 25, 30% or so, but most of the day should be dry. Sunday and Monday, chance of rain goes down to not 0, but maybe 5 to 10%, as we'll have some cool air aloft. And that could touch off a random shower somewhere. But like I said, the main bet for seeing rain here is going to come this Thursday evening. The temperatures cool off. We're only in the mid-60s here, and that trend continues. Look at the 8 to 14-day outlook. Look at all that blue, really cool air over here. The cold air doesn't really get down to Florida, so they stay warm. Temperatures well up into the 80s to near 90, and it heats up in the desert where temperatures will be back up above 100 degrees in parts of South Texas and also out toward Arizona, California, Nevada. In terms of rainfall, we're moving from wet to dry. That's why we have near normal here. The first part of that period, March 22 to 24, could still be a touch on the wet side. But as we approach Memorial Day here, I think we're going to be seeing mainly dry weather. It won't be super warm, but I think we're headed toward a pretty good Memorial Day weekend here. Wow, that's kind of interesting. From Michelle, who is flying back at the moment I'm recording this from her vacation in Costa Rica. She sends a note that the Grand Rapids Symphony is going to be presenting hip-hop artist Common at DeVos Performance Hall just one night tonight at 7:30. If you're going there, watch when you get out of the concert, because we may be seeing the thunderstorms. It may not be thunderstorming when you go in the concert, but it may very well be thunderstorming when you come out of the concert. But you're safe in DeVos Hall. But you might want to check that out. The symphony does so many, you think of the symphony as being just Mozart and Beethoven, and they do some of that, but there's so many other things they do. The last one they had was the playing to the score of Harry Potter, the movie, in the background, or Home Alone. There are so many different performers that come in and do a lot of entertaining things. So check out the schedule for the Grand Rapids Symphony for 2025, 2026. I'm sure that you'll find something that you like. All right, let's go on and take a look at this. Say Holland is known for tulip time, but that's not the only festival in Holland. The Celtic Festival, that's with a hard C, Celtic, and the Highland Games. We're going to take a look at some of the games that they'll be competing in here. The caber toss is always kind of fun. You can check out all the festivities at hollandcelticfestival.org, and that comes up June 20 to 21, right around the solstice is when they have this. And check out the website and see if there's something you might want to go over and enjoy there. Some interesting things on this date. In 1856, Lyman Frank Baum. Now, I didn't know that Lyman was his first name. I knew he was L. Frank Baum. And he spent time vacationing at the end of Lake Macatawa. Out there's a walkway there that goes from the Lake Macatawa area along the channel out to the state park and beyond. He authored this book published in 1990, and I think most of you know what the answer is. It begins in Kansas, and it features an amazing, at the time anyway, for sure, tornado in the movie. And I remember seeing that when I was a kid going, wow, that was cool. It was a 2-story, I think it was kind of like a muslin sock. And they reversed the flow on vacuum cleaners, and which is not fun for the people that were moving the tornado around. But it was a great special effect that they had in the movie. And of course, the movie starts out in black and white and goes to color. So I'm sure that's The Wizard of Oz. Let's go on to the next slide. And drum roll. Yes, The Wizard of Oz. Part of that, perhaps. In fact, I think L. Frank Baum was from New York or somewhere out east, I'm sure. And then he came to vacation here. But great book. All right, let's go on and take a look right now. And this interesting note from this day, May 15th, 1912. The Detroit Tigers baseball players went out on strike. You know, we've had strikes in recent times as well compared to this. They were protesting that this player, pictured right, the guy who's sliding in, was suspended for beating up a heckler. Yeah, you can't really do that. Tigers management signed up replacement players, and the game went on as scheduled. Isn't that interesting? Well, I think I know who that is, but let's read the hint. 22 seasons in Detroit. And for somebody that was around in 1912, there's only one name I think that I can remember. I did not know that he played 2 seasons in Philadelphia. His average, 320 for 22 consecutive seasons, 4,189 career hits, 897 stolen bases. His last name rhymes with, well, that kind of gives it away. His last name rhymes with Bob. That would be the famous Detroit Tiger, Ty Cobb. And there he is, sliding into, what would that be, third base? I think that was scheduled there. Is that a baseball approaching the bag? Somebody may have taken a pretty great picture. But, yeah, that was Ty Cobb. Amazing Detroit Tiger, one of the handful of best Tiger players ever. Okay, the cat is using the litter box next to me. I'm just looking down here to just make sure I'm okay. Okay, Michelle and hubby are leaving Costa Rica, and this is a picture from their plane flight as they left. What's kind of interesting is this area of Costa Rica is not really overly populated. It's an area that gets very warm. The hottest month of the year is April. I think we mentioned that last night. There is some buildup there, but some towns and some roads, but a lot of empty area there as well. And I believe that's an arm of the ocean that comes on in. There are islands down there, a lot of interesting things to explore. So I know Michelle and hubby like to do some hiking, so they probably did some of that on their trip there, maybe along the beach and maybe up into the higher elevations there. Here's another view of him. Oh, this is interesting. We think what we saw here is the Mirador del Volcano Concepcion in Nicaragua, and I think that's probably right. It is fairly close to the coast there. I can't tell you offhand when the last time was Concepcion blew her top there, but that is an interesting shot. And note the cloud cover. When we get into the month of May and beyond, you get more cloud cover down in Panama and Costa Rica, and intermittent showers and thunder showers. So even though the sun comes more directly overhead, the temperature is actually slightly cooler there in, from May on through the summer months because of the additional cloud cover that they have there. Interesting spot. All right, let's go to the next one here. That I believe is the coast of Cuba. Now let's see if I can turn my head a little sideways here, see what I can see. Okay. I can see it off to the side with clouds evidently off to the right. Is that right? I don't know. She's not here to tell me. Maybe we can go over this tomorrow night. She could tell me more about her trip. But the coast of Cuba. Okay, next slide. See what we see here. This is, look at this. That's some beautiful pictures. That's probably the sun shining off water, that yellow color there. And you can see the cumuliform clouds there, kind of bumpy, but very pretty. That's also the coast of Cuba. It probably runs left to right there across the picture. Interesting. All right. Geography B. Okay, I got a geography degree, so let's see how we do here. There are 7 countries in the Western Hemisphere that start with the letter C. How many can you name? Okay, my first question is: are we counting the Caribbean? I would assume that they're in a Western Hemisphere, so why not? Constituent island countries within the Kingdom of the Netherlands count for this game. Okay, I think they're talking about Curacao. All right, let's start with the big one. The big country is Canada, and it's still Canada. Okay, we have Canada. There is one in North America. That's Canada. We have the cat. Can you hear that? Now she's quiet. I think the cat's trying to answer the question. What do you think, Kitty? Chile. That's right. See, she got one. Chile. How about another one? Can you think of another one? Oh, Colombia. She's got another one. Okay, Colombia and Chile are the two countries in South America, I believe. So we got North America. What was that again? Well, of course, Costa Rica. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, that's the one they're coming from right now. Okay, and what else? You're smoking a cigar. Oh, that would be Cuba. Okay, Cuba, another one. And let's see what else we got. What was that again? One more. Yeah, that's the Cayman Islands, I think she said. Okay, the Cayman Islands, right? Okay, yeah, I think we got them. Me and the cat, we got them right. Okay, we go. Central America is Costa Rica. North America is Canada. The 2 South American ones are Chile and Colombia. The 2 in the Caribbean would be the Cayman Islands and Cuba. And the one close to Venezuela is Curacao. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. It's been a while. But those are the 7 countries that me and Ellie Lou the cat have come up with. So let's see how close we came. Isn't this fun? This is the most fun you're going to have all day, right? Okay, Canada, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, Colombia, Chile, Cuba, and Curacao. I got them right. How about that? I got a geography degree. I haven't quite lost that yet. Okay, anything else here to show you? One last picture, I think. This is John Doherty from Benzie County. And this is either a sunrise or a sunset. John gets up early most days, so it may be a sunrise. I don't know, but sunrise, I wrote that down. Sunrise is 6:20 and sunset at 8:58, giving us 14 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. And he probably gets 1 extra minute for being up in Benzie County this time of year. But an interesting picture. It looks like there may be 2 layers of clouds there, a lower one again in dark gray, and an upper level one that's getting some sun, and the clouds are more of a whitish, brighter color. But thanks for John for passing that forecast along for me. Thank you so much to the cat for helping me out. I may bring the cat in here every time we do a geography bee. Hey, have yourself a great day and watch out for storms this evening.